morning, everyone. Welcome back to Lotus Chat Worldwide. It is such an honor and such a pleasure to be back on Lotus Chat. And today we have Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, and we've got a really interesting topic for you this week. Today, we're going to talk about episode 26, traveling solo. So I'm sure a lot of women are already thinking about it, and some have probably already done it. And our dear friend Jen just did it. So I'm really excited. I want to know, Jen, so why did you go solo traveling this time? Tell me about it.
So I'm glad that we actually pivoted to discussing this topic, because I'm pretty sure with the summer plans and people wanting to, get out there for the, fall traveling and even for holiday traveling, that there is that kind of bug that is, getting us where we want to get out. We want to see the world. We want to go visit friends in other states, other countries. I mean, as someone who has traveled for work, so I will admit that I've traveled for work to conferences, there is just something different when you travel on your own for fun.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a very long time. And what really prompted me to do that, and I don't know if any of our viewers or listeners on the episode today, welcome back, by the way, and welcome to all of our new friends. So the reason why I did it is because at the time I was kind of filled with a lot of noise around me. And let me just put it that way. There was just a lot of noise. There was a lot of work going on in the place that I'm in, and I wasn't getting good sleep. When it came to work, it was kind of difficult to even hear myself on the many Zoom meetings that I have on a daily basis. So it came to a point where I started thinking, you know what? I am feeling a little overwhelmed. And if anybody out there has ever felt overwhelmed by just life in general and things around them, I made the decision to look into an Airbnb. And since it was something where I didn't necessarily want to go too far, because as I mentioned, again, I had work being done in the area I was in, and I wanted to make sure I wasn't too far in case there were questions from the contractors. I just wanted to make sure that I was available. But what I did was I did look for Airbnbs, not far from where I was, but far enough where I knew it would be in an area that was quiet, an area that I knew I could really just get some rest. And another thing too is with work, I'm sure all of you can relate, if you have a passion project, for example, that there are times you wish you had more time for those projects, that you wish you had an hour, a couple hours here, a few minutes there to yourself, so that you can really think and expunge all those ideas onto paper or pen, or even write them down. And so I said, this is perfect. If I decide to take this solo vacation, I can just take all of my art supplies and I can just, get into that. I can do some journaling, catch up on some reading. And because initially I was going to do some work, and I know it sounds crazy, working from somewhere else. I'm sure some of our listeners have done it, but I felt like this was the time where I needed to really just unwind and just unplug and focus on a lot of the things that I wanted to do. So I started looking on Airbnb, and I found a great spot, like I mentioned, and I pretty much just said, okay, let me just take one suitcase, fill it with those few days, the supplies, my art supplies, and let's do it. And one of the things I recommend, and just for any woman who's wanting to travel solo, is that you really do your research when you're doing that initial search to make sure that whoever you are going to Airbnb, with, that those hosts have really great reviews. Make sure you look at that, and that of course you also look at the description of the place and what that host is offering, because there are some hosts that go just above and beyond to give you that really great experience of being on your own. They add those extra touches when you get there, because my Airbnb host was great. They were just, they took, their place was amazing. It was pristine. It was just wonderful. They added that extra touch of being in constant contact with me in case I needed anything.
So not only just safe, but really loving.
Yes. So you really want to just do your research.
That's great.
I'm probably going to do it again, guys, because I only had a few days, but those few days are very worth it. And I got
Wow.
the rest and a lot of great passion project work done.
Yeah. So did you at any point felt like alone or, lonely, and you wanted to connect with people? Because that's why people don't travel alone. They don't travel alone because, it's not fun being alone, or it's scary. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. The great thing is that, I mean, we are always in constant communication. I mean, always remain in communication with your loved ones too. It's a safety thing. So, always let your friends know where you're at. Let your family know exactly where you are at. I mean, I know some of us like to just get up and go and are like, okay, people are entirely trusting of what you're going to do in the moment of being alone on, on vacation, but always just let people know where you're going. And then in my case, because it wasn't so like, I wasn't like out of state, or I wasn't like, up north or something. I was able to actually call a few friends to come over for a couple of hours to spend some time with me. And then the other thing is, I actually, the Airbnb that I chose was a recommendation that my friend and so I had another person help me choose it, because they're like, this looks like perfect spot for you. So definitely, yes, just keep in touch with people regardless. You won't necessarily feel alone. I mean, there was the last night that I was there where I was like, I had nobody come. Everybody was busy. It was just me, myself, and dad.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna catch up on some reading, do some, artwork stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the joy in traveling alone? Like, what stood out for you during those moments?
So what stood out for me was I think there's one thing that some of us might not be comfortable with, which is the idea of being alone with yourself. I know a lot of us don't necessarily, we may like to fill our time with something, whether it's music or TV.
Yeah.
Or, company. And in my case, I did, but like that last day, since, nobody was necessarily available, it was just me. I was like, wow, it is so quiet in here. And coming from
in a good sense, quiet in a good sense.
Quiet in a good sense, but I'm saying coming from a big city where, and then I have a lot of family always around me, or friends always around me. I was like, this is actually like strange, but good. And I hadn't realized, like, because then it really got like my mind thinking. It got me really moving into myself and really getting in tune with who I was in terms of like, who is Jen when she's alone? Like, what does Jen like to do when she's alone? Behind closed doors. So it really does help. It's something that I think we all should kind of get used to, is just that idea of being okay with being with yourself. Be okay with being with yourself.
So what I'm hearing is a lot of clarity in solitude. Yes.
Clarity in solitude. I love the way you said it. And I will say this to everybody out there: you will come off of this solo vacation really pumped, but also just like, almost like they say, like vacation brain. Oh yeah, that's the real thing. You will come back and you'll be like, oh my God, like I wish I was still there.
Yeah. And I mentioned clarity in solitude because at one point, while you were on vacation, I caught the COVID bug, and technically I was in solitude, isolation more like, and I wasn't traveling, I was just there. But I also took that opportunity, that 1 week isolation, to really put myself in like a reset mode. So I definitely took time off from work, and I also decided to take time off from social media. So I didn't check on it for about a week. I told myself that I'm just really going to be away and see what comes out. So clarity actually is one thing that stood out for me during this time, in the sense that I think on the normal daily life, my mind, or rather we are all always being bombarded with people, news, everything. Just it's constantly bombarded, So I think having space, like you don't have to go to the next thing immediately. Having the space, like drinking water and space, and just sit there and just in that moment of solitude. I think that really helps with that whole clarity. And yeah, we don't need to be constantly stimulated all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love how you said that. And that is a big thing. I mean, I had my phone, I had like my iPod, speaker. I was playing music, but
Yeah.
when I turned everything off that last day, and
Mm.
I just sat and drew and read some books, and they had this great yard that I couldn't use because it was really hot where I was, guys. I wish I could have, but in that moment, it was, yeah, that clarity and solitude. The ideas just started pouring out, and like I'm
Yes.
definitely gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again.
Yes, I'm inspired because I've not done solo traveling, and I'm inspired by you, Jen. So I'm gonna do it one day. And I want to also encourage all the women who's listening to this right now that, do it. If that's something on your mind, do it. Let's do something that, instead of going international, try something local first and see how you feel about it. Yeah. But if I have a choice to do, I will definitely go Italy.
Oh, there we go. Beautiful.
What about you?
Beautiful. And yes, if I were to give some top tips to women out there who want to travel, I would be like, one, do your research, check your hosts or whoever you're going to be staying in, who's ever home, make sure it's in a safe area, safe location. Keep in contact with family and friends about where you are, even just send like, hi, I'm good, all's good, like every single day, check in. And finally, make sure that you are a really good guest, because if you're a good guest, you get invited back. That's a big plus. And you definitely, like I said, start local, as Deanne said, if you're not used to traveling on your own. It definitely will leave you with a lot of rewarding things out of it, for sure. So to everybody out there, first and foremost, Deanne, this is a great topic. Thank you for bringing that up. It's very timely. And as I said, I definitely welcome all of our viewers from, who've been following us for the last, 25 episodes. We're on 26. And for all of our wonderful new viewers, thank you for joining us on this journey of Lotus Chat Worldwide. And I'd highly encourage you all to hit that like button, click subscribe on our YouTube, comment, turn on those notifications, share our videos if you feel like one of our videos could help somebody that you know in your life or might inspire someone. Pop us a question. Also, if there's something that you have not heard on our channel, we would love to discuss it just for you, and we'll even give you a special shout out. And also, if you would like to just send us your own response to any of our episodes, you can email us at lotuschatworldwide@gmail.com. And our next topic for our next episode will be powerfully living with purpose. Deep, big topic, guys, and we hope our Lotus ladies will be able to join us next week, and we miss them terribly. And the question that we have for you today from this episode is, what is a place that you would like to travel solo to? And please put it down in the comment section down there, or just send it to us via email. So thank you guys all again for joining us, and until next time, we love you.
Woohoo! Thank you for joining us today. And signing off, I'm Zian. And also, I want to do a quick shout out to one of our Lotus Chat ladies, Laura Benson. If you're listening to this, happy birthday. I know it's your birthday week.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.